Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing today? We are back with a new video, so I really hope y'all are ready, so let's get into it. So today we are talking about none other than Gotham Knights. If y'all don't know what Gotham Knights is, it is a game in the Batman universe made by Warner Brothers Montreal, who also made Arkham Origins. They did not make the other Arkham games, they only made that one, which was the prequel to the Arkham series. Gotham Knights is completely separate from the Arkham series. They are not at all connected in any way, shape, or form. It is a completely new story, and it also doesn't take place in Arkham. It takes place in Gotham, so that's pretty fucking cool. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. Oh, you know, he rather has a clickbaity title, or he's just fucking dumb. Now, I didn't mean for the title to be that clickbaity. I hope it wasn't. Let me explain what I mean. I don't think it's better than all the Arkham games. From somebody who has played all 4 of the Arkham games like 100,000 times each, I can say that, you know, Arkham Asylum is my favorite game of all time. Arkham City is a close second. Origins was okay. And I didn't fuck with Knight. And I know all y'all are gonna be like, oh my god, what did he just say? And let me clarify, okay? Let me clarify here. I absolutely love Arkham Knight. Okay, I do, but as in the Arkham series, it is my least favorite, and I don't replay it as much as the others. I have only played through it in its entirety maybe 4 or 5 times, and while it's a good game, I don't know, I don't really know what it was about it. For starters, I did not like any of the Batmobile shit. I didn't like that it was like a Batmobile simulator. Like, it forced you to do that shit. It wasn't optional. And I found myself getting lost in Arkham Knight more than any of the other Arkham games, which is so fucking annoying, because I'm at a point where in any of the Arkham games, I don't get stuck at all. I know exactly where to go, but in Arkham Knight, like, I always get lost. Even like I can fucking look up a tutorial on YouTube, I can fucking find my way through it, and then you know, complete that shit, start it over and try it again, and I'm gonna be fucking lost. It's insane. Now, before I say anything about Gotham Knights, I do want to let you know that all of the footage shown in this video is very early game. I did not want to do any spoilers or anything. I made sure to not record, well, I edited them out, of course, but I made sure not to show any cutscenes. I made sure not to show any spoilers, and like I said, everything here was very early game. Everything, all the gameplay I recorded was within the first 2 hours of the game. Very early, so there's no spoilers. Just to be extra safe, I didn't put any cutscenes in there as well. Okay, now here's the thing. I am really loving this game so far. I am playing this game on PC. All the footage that you're seeing was recorded on PC. I am running a 3070 Ti, and it's running great. I have everything you're seeing is on the highest settings possible. Again, I'm absolutely loving this game, but I will say the frame rate drops do need to be fixed. Now, this is an issue that most people are having, at least on PC, and Warner Brothers Montreal has already made a statement about it and said that they are currently working on a frame rate dropping issue, or working on a fix for it anyways. They did release a patch same day release or the next day, and they promised that it fixed the frame rate issues, and it did not. It helped a little bit. I'm definitely getting less frame rate issues. But, I mean, there are certain parts of the game where I'm pulling in over 100 FPS, and then other parts where I'm lucky to pull in 40. And I've noticed it's mostly when the bat cycle, when you're driving the bat cycle is usually when the frame rate drops happen the most frequently. But at least in my personal experience, it is not as bad as people are making it sound. And again, I'm really enjoying this game. The story, I absolutely love the story. The beginning opening cutscene was so fucking insane. It was so fucking cool. I don't give a fuck what any of y'all say. I fucking love this game. And I'm the type of person where I don't give a shit what people say or the reviewers say. If I like the game and I have fun with the game, I'm gonna play the fucking game. Now, for starters, one of the absolute biggest complaints I'm seeing from people about this game specifically is console performance. So for those of you guys who do not know, there isn't like performance modes and shit like there are in other games on console anyways. So if you were playing it on Xbox Series X and S or PS5, you're going to be locked in at 30 FPS, but the resolution is going to be in 4K. There's going to be ray tracing, all of that shit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you did not buy this game because of the 30 FPS lock, you're a fucking moron. Okay, I don't give a shit who I piss off here. You're a fucking moron. From somebody who has played the game on console, PS5 to be specific, and as well as PC, I can tell you it's not a big deal. 30 FPS really is not a huge deal. And especially y'all are thinking of it as, you know, oh, you know, it's 30 FPS, it's gonna be unplayable. What y'all aren't thinking about is ray tracing's enabled and 4K resolution. The game looks insane. It runs fantastic on console. And you know what? I know y'all are gonna hate me for saying this, but consoles at the end of the day, if your main platform that you play on is a console, you have absolutely no right to be demanding high frame rates. You know why? Because I paid $3,000 for my gaming PC, just the desktop itself. And I want to ask y'all for real, who do you think deserves high frame rates? The dude who spent $3,000 on a PC, or the dude who paid $500 on a console? Consoles are a way for people to play modern games on a budget. They are the bare minimum. They run the games at the bare minimum. You guys need to get that through your heads. It is the bare minimum. That's why consoles are so cheap. I'm gonna say that again. They are the bare minimum. You cannot, under any circumstances, be complaining about something like that when you're playing on console. I understand it's frustrating and I understand it's annoying, but we're at a point right now, oh my god, this game is so fucking, the map itself, let's just talk about the map right now. It is so detailed, there's so many particle effects everywhere, the neon lighting's insane, the ray tracing is crazy, everything looks absolutely insane. For those of you guys who think, oh, well, they could just lower the resolution down to 1080p and it could run at 60 FPS. That is not how it works. Okay, if you really are listening to the people on fucking Twitter and shit that are saying you're gonna get this game to run at 60 FPS just from lowering the resolution from 4K to 1080p, you're fucking insane. Yeah, you might be able to pull in some more frame rates, like you might be able, or more frames, sorry. You might be able to pull in probably around 45, 50, but I hate to be this guy. You're not gonna, in a game like this with how much is going on in the world and shit, you are absolutely not, under any circumstances, gonna be pulling 60 FPS on this, 1080p or not, on PS5 and Series X. It cannot be done. It absolutely cannot be done. I promise y'all it cannot be done. And for those of you who don't, haven't thought of this, Warner Brothers Montreal is a company that's hated on quite a bit already. Okay, they just want to make a good game. They do not want to listen to all y'all bitch about shit you have no idea what you're talking about. So realistically, do you think if they had a way to add 60 FPS to console by lowering the resolution, they would do that? Like, really, do you think it's just laziness? That's not how that works. It's not laziness. The people who are making the decisions at their company aren't the ones having to do the work. They don't give a fuck if it's a lot of work. Their developers and shit aren't making the decision to add this or take it away or anything like that. The people who are making the decision to make it a 30 FPS lock, they're not the ones doing any of the development or anything. They're really not. So they don't give a fuck. It's not them being lazy. If there was any way for them to add 60 FPS support on console, they would have already done it. They don't want to listen to y'all bitch and shit, and it'd be a good selling point. They'd be able to make a lot more money from this game, because they'd be able to be like, hey guys, you can play it at 30 FPS, 4K ray tracing, or you could do it 1080p, no ray tracing at 60 FPS. Do you think that they wouldn't do that if they had the option? I will also say about the combat. Everybody's complaining about the combat, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. The combat is not Arkham. They have made this very clear. For those of you guys who are jumping into this game expecting it to be Arkham, it's not gonna be. This is an RPG, and they have let us know from the beginning it's an RPG. The combat isn't supposed to be fucking button mashing. There's actual skill that's required here, and you gotta literally strategize with shit. The different heroes, you got Robin, you got Red Hood, you got Nightwing and Batgirl. They all have different abilities. They have different play styles. It baffles me that people will hate on this game and not do any research. I have seen so many people refunding the game on Steam because they're like, and the gameplay isn't as fun as Arkham. It's like, it's not a fucking Arkham game. Now, what I'm about to say is not factual. It's just purely off of opinion. I personally, in my own experience, I really like the combat. I think that the combat's fun, and I like the fact that it requires a little bit of skill, and it's not just fucking spamming one fucking button. I mean, it's actually really fun, and I'm not saying, and again, I am not at all saying that the Arkham game's combat isn't fun. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for my personal playstyle, I like there to be a little challenge, and even though I've played the Arkham games a billion times, I fucking love them. They're easy to me. I could play them on a very high difficulty and not die at all, because it's not as difficult to me as something like this. And this isn't like Souls hard. I'm not saying it's as hard as Souls or anything. It's not hard at all, actually. But it does have more of a challenge to it than the Arkham games do. It really fucking does. And regardless of if y'all disagree with me or not, it's not even a thing you can disagree with. It's purely opinionated. And my opinion is I really like the gameplay. I really like the combat. Also, regardless of if y'all like the story or not, I love the story. I have always loved the Court of Owls. I've always loved the League of Shadows. I've always loved all of those stories, and I love the fact that we're getting them in a game. I love their new approach on Harley. I love everything about this game, actually. I am very much enjoying this game. And again, that's just purely opinionated. If I enjoy a game, I'm gonna play the game. And I, for one, I am really enjoying the game. But we do need to talk about the cons here, because I'm not gonna lie, there are definitely some cons that I have noticed. So let's go ahead and talk about those. Now, for starters, the biggest one, like I just said, is the frame rate issues. It doesn't make the game unplayable, but it's definitely noticeable. If you go from 100 FPS straight down to 40, you're gonna notice that 100%, and it is very distracting. Now again, this isn't even a hardware issue or anything like that. It's an issue with the game. Warner Brothers Montreal has already confirmed this, and they have already said that they're working on a fix. So unfortunately, for right now, there's nothing else that we can do but sit and wait. But this is to be expected. I mean, can you really think of a bunch of games that have come out fairly recently, other than like maybe Elden Ring, that didn't have issues? Like, this game is definitely very, very playable. Like, it's very, very playable. Also, if Arkham Knight is your favorite game, you really can't complain on this game because of the frame rate issues, because I don't know if y'all fucking remember this or not, but Arkham Knight for the first like 6 months after release was unplayable on PC. It was so fucking bad, you couldn't even play it. Regardless of frame rate issues, you just couldn't play the fucking game in general. Another complaint, and this isn't a huge complaint, but I will say, even though the voice acting is not as bad as we all originally thought, because let's be real here, the gameplay that they showed us at E3 and all that looked a little sketch. That did look, the voice acting did look a little sketch there, and I can assure y'all it is a lot better than what they made it look like, but the voice acting still could use some work. And again, it's not terrible, but I will say later in the game, there were definitely some moments, you know, where like the characters would get kind of emotional and they'd be like screaming or, something along those lines, if you will. And I was like, okay, they should have redone that. You know what I mean? Like, there were a few of those moments, definitely. But overall, it's pretty good. And I'm not going to lie, I have heard way worse from games that had a lot better reviews than Gotham Knights. So, I mean, now if you are somebody who, doesn't have a lot of extra money, maybe you're going to school, whatever, you don't have a job, whatever the fuck, I completely understand waiting for a sale. It's a game that you're not sure that you're gonna like or not, and it is $60 and $70 on console. That's expensive. So I'm not hating on people because they didn't buy it. Who I am hating on are the people that are refusing to buy it even when it does go on sale in the future, or people who had the money for it and had it pre-ordered but decided to refund it just because of the 30 FPS lock. I think that y'all are fucking dumb, because here's the thing. This game is really fucking good, and I think that you'll really like it if you go into it. Especially if you go into it with low expectations, you're gonna be blown away, because you're gonna be like, wow, I should have had high expectations, because this is a fun fucking game. It's a game to get lost in. The amount of detail and realism is really fucking interesting. I love the world. The gameplay is fun. The story is really fucking good. The character development's pretty decent. I mean, it's really fucking good. Am I saying that it's the best fucking game ever? No. Am I saying it's the best game of the year? No. Am I saying it's the best superhero game? No. Am I saying it's the best Batman game? No. I'm not saying any of that. I am solely just saying that it's a good game, and there's no reason to hate on it and its developers just because of some things like 30 FPS locks when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about anyways. So, like, shut the fuck up. Let's also not forget that on Steam, if you buy a game, you got fucking 2 weeks to get your fucking money back, and on top of that, you could play an hour and a half of it and still get your money back. You just can't surpass 2 hours. So if you're on PC and you got the extra money, just fucking try it. If you don't like it, you can get your money back. It's like, my God. Now, literally the only point of this video is literally just I'm so sick and tired of people hating on the development team and the publishers and just the whole 9 yards for this game. The IGN fucking review was like, oh my God, that dude had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. It pissed me off to watch it. So I had to make this video to let everyone know I'm enjoying it. and just try it. It's not a bad game. I would rate this game probably a 7 out of 10. It's not a perfect game. There are some issues, but it runs good. It has a fun story, and I'm having a good time with it. If you want a game to grind and just lose time in and just, you know, escape your own reality, it's a great choice, especially if you're a Batman fan or even superhero fans in general. It requires no previous Arkham knowledge, Batman knowledge, anything like that. Like, even though I have a lot of Batman knowledge, I can tell from playing this game that you could probably enjoy this game even if you have no Batman knowledge at all. I also like the fact that there are, for the first time, you know, in a very long time, we have a Batman game with fucking actual civilians and shit, like innocent NPCs walking around, like in Spider-Man, for instance. We didn't get that in any of the Arkham games. None of them. Not even one of them. Which I think is crazy, by the way, because, like, that would be really fucking cool. I mean, it makes sense in the Arkham games. I completely understand. Like, it'd be really weird if they added just random people strolling down the street. That would be fucking weird. I'm just saying that it is nice to finally get a game that takes place in Gotham, and it really feels like the city's alive and, you know, living. It literally does feel like the city that never sleeps. But again, this is just my personal opinion. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If not, go fuck yourself. Everybody have an awesome night. God bless y'all.